Hello everyone, welcome to one more video of Special Biotonic. In this video, I'll discuss about pollination, its types and their merits and demerits. Students, this is the structure of stamen and carpel. As we all know, each stamen is made up of lower filament and upper anthers. Similarly, the carpel is made up of basal ovary, middle style, and upper stigma. Here, pollens are produced by anthers. These pollen produces male gametes which are non-motile in nature. Therefore, these pollens need to be carried from anthers to the stigma for the process of fertilization. So, this transfer of pollens from anthers to stigma is called pollination. Now, depending on which stigma pollens are transferred, there are two types of pollination. One is self-pollination and second is cross-pollination. In self-pollination, there is a transfer of pollens from anthers to the stigma of same flower or different flower of same plant. Whereas in cross-pollination, the pollens are transferred from anthers to the stigma of different flower of different plant of same species or different species. Students, there are two types in cell pollination and they are autogamy and geitonogamy. Similarly, xenogamy and hybridization are two types in cross pollination. These terms are very easy to understand. Now, in autogamy, there is a transfer of pollens from anthers to the stigma of same flower. In geitonogamy, pollens are transferred from anthers to the stigma of different flower but of same plant. In xenogamy, the pollens are transferred from anthers to the stigma of different flower of different plant of same species. In such cases, the progenies are genetically different from parents. The last type is very rare, where there is a transfer of pollens from anthers to the stigma of different flower of different plant of different species. Autogamy is found in P. and mirabilis. Geitonogamy is found in cucurbita. The example of xenogamy is papaya. Students, in certain hibiscus varieties, we can find the last type of pollination. Students, looking at the question paper pattern, you might get 1 mark question or even multiple choice question from the given topic. Now, if plant undergoes self-pollination, then there are certain advantages. Here, pollination is sure. Pollinators are not required. Pure line varieties are conserved. Flower doesn't have to waste energy on nectar and fragrance. And even there is no loss of pollens. But this self-pollination have certain demerits also. The first one is, due to self-pollination, new varieties are not produced. We cannot eliminate undesirable characters, if any. There is no room for evolution. The percentage of seed germination will be less. It means if you put 100 seeds in the soil, only 70 germinate and remaining 30 fail to germinate. So this is loss to the farmers. Other demerits are plants may not be disease and drought resistant, and shows late maturity. Students, once you understand the merits and demerits of self pollination, you can easily understand the merits and demerits of cross pollination easily. So, the merits of cross pollination includes, the first one is the new varieties are produced. We can eliminate undesirable characters. There is a lot of room for evolution. The percentage of seed germination will be more. Plants are disease and drought resistant and even shows early maturity. Similarly, the demerits of cross pollination are, here pollination is not sure, then pollinators are required. In this case, pure line varieties are not considered. Flowers have to waste a lot of energy on nectar and fragrance, and even there is loss of pollens. So students, I hope you have followed the concept of pollination and its types. In the next video, I'll talk about the pollinators in detail. So stay home, stay safe. Thank you.